Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Racha, Kodash, Mama. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder this camp as well. Salutations to the sincere Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm the Car Corral by Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. And now today I'll be coming out with a lesson. The title of it is Esau's Faded Glory. Because as you know, in the times we're living in, and it's in the way these prophecies are taking place and popping off, Esau, his glory is fading. He's trying to relive his glory days. You know, he has this faded glory. That's why he want to try to reclaim that glory. That's why he's going to try to do this new world order thing. He's trying to reclaim that glory, you know, through harsh, draconian austerity measures. He's trying to reclaim that faded glory because, to be honest, he's trying to achieve a birthright or receive something, or take something back that, when you read the scripture, it was never really his to begin with. Because if it was his, truly, he would have retained it. But through the power and the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the birthright was given over, or the glory was given over to Jacob. But ever since then, since the days of Rome, Greece, and all those days, Esau, since he's been going down this power shows, he's been trying to reclaim his faded glory, you know. But without further ado, I'm gonna get right into the scriptures. This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. It says, "Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh hath indignation forever." So, you know, you have Edom, i.e. Esau, these Edomites, or white as they have dubbed themselves. They say they are impoverished. They want to return to build the desolate places. Why do you think they're trying to like rebuild old neighborhoods, and they building all these buildings and different things like that? Because they're trying to reclaim desolate places. They're trying to rebuild. Why you see them trying to gentrify neighborhoods and kick Jake out, and they're trying to move back in. They're trying to rebuild this place. Because why? Esau is trying to recapture his faded glory. He's trying to recapture his glory days. You know how they used to say back in the day, the roaring 20s and stuff like that? Well, he's trying to recapture his faded glory. He's trying to recapture his glory. But his glory is faded. This is the end of his system. This is the end of his kingdom. But he's not accepting of it. But continuing. It says, they shall build, but I will throw down. The Lord is saying that the more they build up, anything they build up, guess what? He's going to throw it down. I mean, he's going to destroy it. It's not going to stand. Esau will not be able to recapture his faded glory. But again, it says, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness. You see, we call them the border of wickedness because that is what they are. This is a scripture saying we're supposed to call them the border of wickedness, the mystery of iniquity. They do already work. It says the mystery of iniquity already doth work. And this was the Lord saying this back in the days of old, and it's very prevalent. It's applicable to now. And it says this people, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh hath indignation forever. So the Most High already has indignation, righteous anger, judgment against these Edomites, against Esau. Indignation meaning righteous anger, judgment. And the Lord, in his indignation, his righteous judgment, in his anger, in his fury, he is not going to allow Esau to recapture his glory. He's not going to allow Esau to make an attempt at reclaiming his faded glory. Because this is not the plan for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. The Lord ain't, he not agreeing with these Edomites on nothing. You see, Donald Trump tried to start World War III. He got blocked from doing that. That shows you right there. And the elder of this camp, Harold One, he brought out A beautiful lesson on that. Showing the power and the control of Yahweh, that he's in control. But continue, let's go to Habakkuk. This is chapter 2. Verse 16. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. See, Esau, these Edomites, they're filled with shame for glory. They've done very shameful, horrible things for glory. So now they're filled with shame for that glory, because it is now being exposed and sought out. And the people around the four corners of the earth are starting to see what these Edomites, what Esau has done to achieve what he has achieved. But again, continue. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. See? The Most High says, drink thou also. Let your foreskin be uncovered. Meaning, let these Edomites, let Esau be exposed for the wicked individual, or the nation of wicked individuals that they are. It says the cup of the Lord's right hand, i.e. his judgment, is going to be turned unto Esau, these Edomites, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory, on their glory. Shameful spewing, meaning they're going to be mocked. They're not going to be taken serious. They're going to say one thing and they're going to get disregarded by these other nations around the four corners of this earth. And shameful spewing is going to be on the glory, meaning they're going to get made fun of. They're not going to be taken serious. And guess what? Shameful spewing is going to be on their glory. Disrespect. People talking trash about them, talking trash to them. And you can best believe the things that Esau has done to the children of Israel, he is very much filled with shame. He cannot take it. Like slavery, trying to take that out of the history books, if not already, if he hasn't done that already. But Esau trying to reclaim his faded glory. Well, it ain't gonna happen, because Lord say they're gonna be filled with shame for glory. Shame is gonna cover them for their violence against their brother Jacob, and shameful spewing is gonna be on their glory. But continuing, let's go to Proverbs. Chapter 11, verse 7. It says, when a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of unjust men perisheth. So when a wicked man dies, whatever expectations he had, guess what? They perish. They go away. It says, and the hope of unjust men perisheth. And you already think, these Edomites are unjust men. Esau is an unjust man. So their hope is going to perish right along with them. What is their hope? To reclaim this faded glory, to start the new world order, to really try and clamp down and retain power. What little bit of power that they have. But continuing, I'm gonna just read down to verse 5. It says, the righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. See, the righteousness of the perfect, the upright, is going to direct his way. Meaning, if you're walking according to these scriptures, you're living according to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, you're following the laws of his commandments to the best of your ability, well, that's going to direct your way unto righteousness and to keep you on the right path. But the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. Esau is going to fall by his own wickedness. You cannot establish a city with blood or by wickedness. Esau has done that, and he's trying to keep that glory, retain that fading glory, but it's going to go away. But continuing, Proverbs chapter 29. Verse 16. It says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall. So when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases. And as you already know, the wicked is multiplied very much upon the earth. So now what? Transgression has increased in the world, in the land. Being disobedient to the Heavenly Father, going contrary to what the Lord say to do, especially according to the children of Israel, because 2/3 of our people are caught up, and they trust in the glory, Esau's fading glory and the power of this place. But it says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases. Right now, transgression is running rampant upon the earth, especially among Yasharallah, 2/3 of our people. But it says, the righteous shall see their fall. The righteous people of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua are going to see the fall of the wicked. They're going to see 2/3 of our people get judged right along with Esau, because they trust and believe in the fate and glory of this place as well. They want Esau to obtain his faded glory, or his fading glory, because they don't have anything. They can't fathom anything outside of this rulership, this oppressive regime. But continuing, let's go to Obadiah. My last point. Gone. There we go. This is Obadiah. I'm going to start at verse 2. It says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. See, the Lord has already made these Edomites small among the heathen. He's already taken away from their glory. They are greatly despised. These Edomites, Esau, he's greatly despised. Despised means to be to have a dislike, a hatred. These other countries, these other nations, they hate Esau. Heck, Esau hate Esau. These Edomites hate each other. As you seeing right now, a house divided amongst itself. Well, eventually a house divided amongst itself cannot stand. It'll fall. It's gonna start to crumble. That's why you see what you see right now. If you're paying attention to the political scene, it's in-house fighting, but that's how Esau's kingdom have always fallen. In-house fighting. A house divided amongst itself cannot stand. It's gonna fall. Verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? The pride of Esau's heart has fooled him. It's done deceived him. It's done tricked him into thinking that he cannot be taken down, that I'm going to be in power forever. That's how he's thinking. Oh, I'm gonna start this new world order, and I'm going to retain power. I'm going to reclaim that faded glory I once had. Well, their pride, that's pride, and it's done deceived them. It's done fooled them. And they think can't nobody bring them down, but Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to bring them down, bring Esau down. Period. Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh. So though they exalt themselves way up high like the eagle, meaning they have established all these different orders and power heads and gatekeepers and things like that. Though they set their nest, their power structure among the stars, they got space stations and satellites and everything up there. The Most High said, well, I'm still going to bring you down. I'm going to bring you back down to reality. Lord is saying your glory is faded, and you will no more achieve that. I'm going to jump down to verse 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his head things sought up? This is a question. How are these things of Esau searched out? By the power and spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai and prophecy. That's how these things are searched out, through the prophecies, through the scriptures, we now know who are the Edomites. We now know who Esau is. We now know that you should call them the border of wickedness through the scriptures. And it's hid things, you know. Once upon a time, the Bohemian Grove, the Bilderberg meetings, and different things of the sort. Once upon a time, nobody knew anything about that. And then if you did have somebody to know about that, they would speak about it, but the masses would be like, yeah, whatever, man. You ain't, you know. But now, it's in the open. The Most High has exposed it. But continuing. I'm going to just jump down. I want to get straight to the point. No, I'm going to read verse 7 and keep going. Then I'll jump down. Verse 7, this says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So all the men of his confederacy, all the ones he's allied with and you know, rubbing elbows with and cool with, well, they done brought them even to the border. They starting to set up and turn against these Edomites. The ones that were at peace with them have deceived them. These ones that, you know, like you know, so like Xi Jinping of China. You know, he around there shaking Biden's hand and all this stuff. Well, them Moabites don't like these Edomites. Them Moabites, just like any other nation, waiting to strike. You have the Iranians, i.e. the Persians, or the Arabs, whichever one you want to call them. You know, they getting ready. And once upon a time, all these countries that were in league and or alliance with this place are now starting to turn against this place, are now starting to turn against Esau, these Edomites. All of them that have ate his bread, took part of his dainty meats, i.e. his commodities, well now they lay a wound unto him. They ready to strike, axe to the wax. They ready to do damage. They just like a cobra, they ready to strike. Let's go down to verse 10. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever, for his violence against his brother Jacob. Who is Jacob? We are Jacob, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Jacob had 12 sons. We are descendants of those people, the 12 tribes of Israel. We, as a matter of fact, we back in the flesh. This is the regeneration. We back in the flesh again. And shame is covering Esau, because these things that he has done to our people, you best believe these other nations know what they did to us. And now Esau is shame about it. These Edomites are now shame about it. Well, because of their violence against their brother. Esau swore to kill his brother when his father Isaac died. And he's been doing that. That's why you see how people get gunned down the street, choked out by police, get shot, you know, and all kind of different things. And because Esau swore that. These Edomites swore that that's what they would do. And they've been doing that. Well, if you kill with the sword, guess what? You got to get killed with the sword. If you lead into captivity, you got to get led into captivity. It's just that simple. But let's continue. It says, in that day thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast one of them. So in the days of our judgment, back in the days of old, when we was being disobedient to the Heavenly Father, Esau, these Edomites, Esau, he was standing right there watching the whole time. He was standing right there watching the whole time while these other nations invaded our cities, desecrated our temples, and took us into captivity into other lands, guess what? Esau, these Edomites, they were one of them that did it. They were one of them. Verse 12. But thou shouldest have not looked on the day of thy brother in the day, Salakia, that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah, Salakia, in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. So there you go. The Lord is saying, in the day of our people destruction, Esau, you shouldn't have been the one looking upon your brother, watching his destruction, hoping him to fall, and rejoicing over his demise and his destruction. You shouldn't have been one of them. And then on top of that, you spoke very proudly in our distress. As a matter of fact, you still speak proudly now. These Edomites, you still speak proudly now. This is what you shouldn't have did. But this was all in the power and the spirit in the hands of the Most High for this to happen, so that you can watch your glory, your power structure fade into nothingness. Verse 13. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. See? The Lord is saying to these Edomites, you shouldn't have entered into the gate. You shouldn't have come into the power. You shouldn't have come into the land, the city of the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, i.e. Israelites. You know, in the day of their calamity. You should not have looked upon their affliction, you know, in the day of their calamity. You should not have laid hands on their substance. Took all our gold, like I said, desecrated the temples, the altars, and everything. You shouldn't. The Lord is saying you shouldn't have done that. Verse 14. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those that did remain in the day of distress. So even when our people was fleeing in the times, well, I use one main time, 70 AD. Esau was right there, destroying the temple, saying, raise it, meaning destroy it. Our people was escaping from the siege and from the Romans and stuff. Guess what? Esau was right out there, catching them in the crossroads, catching them on the way escaping, and killing them. Killing our people. You know, and the ones that you found that didn't escape, you delivered up to be destroyed, to be put into captivity, to be what's the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna just use hurt, because I can't think of the word I was looking for. So I'm hurt and afflicted in the day of our distress, in the day of our people's distress. So yes, all this plays a part in Esau's fading glory, because according to Obadiah, he shouldn't have been there. It shouldn't have been there. But because of cause and effect, the effect, Esau's glory is now fading, and he's trying to recapture that faded glory, but it's not going to happen. Verse 15. For the Lord Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. So for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. Outside, well, even 2/3 of our people are considered heathens right now. Which the day of the Lord is destruction, judgment. And it's upon all the heathen. You already know. When it comes down to these scriptures, what it says is going to happen to these Edomites, it's going to be utter, complete destruction. They tried to commit genocide on our people. It didn't work. Well, the Lord is going to commit genocide on them. The day of the Lord is upon all the heathen, because these other nations also took us into slavery as well. It's just none of them went as far as these Edomites, these so-called white people. You know, if you look up the definition of the word white, it is synonymous, or it is connected with righteousness, purity, things that are good. So no, white is not a racial slur. It is not a racial description of a person. They just use it like that. But it's a word, it's just a color. It's a social construct made up by society. Oh, I'm gonna, you black and I'm gonna call you, and I'm white. If you want to go in the meaning and the definition of words, if you look at it, the ones who call themselves whites are actually black. What is black associated with? Evil, death, destruction, things that are bad. If you want to go into the meaning and the definition of words, white is not a race, black is not a race. It does not depict a nation or nationality of people. Continuing. Their reward is going to return upon their own head. Everything that they have done is going to be done back to them. That is their reward. That's what Esau's reward is. It's his reward, to be judged. Everything that he has done is going to come back upon him. Even now, you have Esau trying to reclaim his faded glory. I got my last point, and then that's it. It says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. So just like these Edomites drunk upon his holy mountain, the Lord's holy mountain, which is his people, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Esau's going to drink continually. These other nations, they're going to drink, but then they're gonna get their punishment, and then the Most High gonna say, okay, you got your own plot of land, and go on about your business. That's what the Lord gonna do. But they still gotta pay for it. But Esau, he gonna drink continually. I mean, he just gonna be, according to the scriptures, it's gonna be 1,000 years of slavery for Esau. And after that 1,000 years, it's gonna be wiped out, destruction, genocide, just like he tried to commit on this earth. It says they're gonna swallow down the judgment, the anger of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, and it's going to be just like they have not been. It's going to be just like they ain't never ever existed. But Esau's trying to retain his faded glory, but it ain't going to work. Shalom.